No, Mike, of course.
So pretty much the end of the summer. 401 looking really good right now. In fact, all of our major routes are moving at top speed and really not seeing any restrict. All of our major routes are moving at top speed and really not seeing any restrict. All-wheel drive premium package at 2.9%. Bi-weekly payments from $198 and delivery credits of $1,000. See Lexus of Oakville.ca. With the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahigh.
7 degrees. Well, that may be the average high for this time of year. It's actually going to be our morning start temperature, and we are soaring back up to 15 degrees in the afternoon. The lakeside temperature closer to 9 degrees. Now, we do have a chance for showers on and off through the day, and even a risk of thunderstorms, especially into the evening. Thursday, sunshine to start. It's going to be 19 degrees, and most of the day is dry with increasing cloud. It's not until the evening on Thursday that our next round of rain is incoming. Once that gets here, it stays with us all day Friday. At this point, we're talking light to moderate rainfall, 12 degrees, but the bullseye of heaviest rain, which currently models are putting over the Niagara Peninsula, could move north into Toronto. So we'll keep an eye on where that heaviest round is going to be. Tonight, down to a low of 7 degrees. Right now in downtown Toronto, 11 degrees, partly cloudy, similar conditions at Pearson.
Coming up at 8:30. We have an update from Oshawa, where Durham police and fire officials have announced just moments ago that 2 more bodies have been recovered from yesterday's deadly townhouse fire on Olive Avenue, bringing the total count to 4 people recovered from this fire since it started yesterday at 1 in the morning. We also have details on a dramatic video shot exclusively from our Chopper 680 and Jordan Kerr of a fist fight on the 401. Details on this story and much more coming up straight ahead.
This is 680 News.
Scott McGilvery here. I started my career renovating basements, so I know how important it is to keep those floors warm.
People.
On my projects, I use DMX one-step.
They did not recover people. They recovered bodies, which is no longer considered a person. Oh. Too good. Yeah, I know. They say they got video. I'm trying to bring you a video about it. Yes, I know, but it's my life. If I went right now to find that video clip on their site and share it, I guarantee I wouldn't find it or wouldn't share, or something would go wrong. It says, CTV News 11 hours ago, Android apps crashing. Google has a fix for that. Well, surprise, surprise. You bought brand new shit and it's busted already. Surprise, surprise. I'll make you feel right at home. From the couch to the floor, we'll be in the zone. Let's get it on till the dawn arises. Kissing in the midst of the prayer horizon. So I passed chemistry is what I'm feeling from you. A perfect love story with a perfect prelude. I wanna make it right and follow right. Yes, it is one mother's story. It's something I can do for you. Each mango from the tip of my tongue, and I can get it done. So baby, give me some, and I can give you some, and we can go from there. Keep it PG, but you see what I mean. Let's go for a walk, let me walk the trail and watch the sunset and the moon and stars real. Get rocked by the river and sit on the beach. Quiet times in the city can never be beat. So baby, you can do your thing, and I can do my thing. No, we can do a thing. Say, baby, you can do your thing. So do your thing, and I can do my thing. No, we can do a thing. It's your time to shine. It's a lady in a face, got no time to be blind. It's up to you, sir. They're always building a tunnel through a mountain for boats. Making life happen and dreaming of a lost. You're dreaming and being, I'm dreaming. And I think it's very sexy when you show me your clothes. Dressing, caressing, get the best of me. I can be your best friend if you let me see what you believe. Honestly, the perfect life could be that, honey. Outside the nugs are dry, the inside is wet. What the fucking hell? Why do I deal with certain people? You got a picture of Lurch or someone from the Monsters or something. That might be their biggest story today too. Oh, the best part, video, everything. Cops don't know who it is fighting. Yeah. They're wearing reflective vests. $200,000 trucks parked on the side of the road, covered in decals and lights. We don't know who's fighting.
I am the one that makes the media internet. Yeah, you're small like a mouse, I'm just a fake like a beer. But you wanna drink, start drink, so much drink. Yeah, I make it last year, but me better this year. I did it down, did it. It's the champion. I did it, no champion.
I'm supposed to wait till this, like, should I give it 10 minutes to dry a little more? Fucking hell, man. I hate you people doing that.
Me used to stand up on the side, man, from the corner. Me used to preach up with me brethren from the Nova. And the flunks, them I end up in a different area. Them I know that this was an entertainer. Used to drink up and liquor mixed with water. You say, shut up your mouth and give me water. She used to fall out and me say, fall out and and never know that them is some of the wicked in me back. If my back, them I again I give me with down. It's the place I may live, but them I call it Canada. Say, drink on never find the sea in town. It's that that I'm over a damn shop. They take a look at you for Mr. Down Jamaica. Now people never get that in that them a wonder. If I miss a black man, but I miss a white man. Listen up your dance and nice in the area. Don't be the we go is not the jungle. Don't be the we go is not the jungle. Don't be the we go is not the jungle. Don't be the we go is not the jungle. You make a one minute break and you think you want it. You're coming at the street now, that's the function. I know that I'm making that zone. Yes, make it here.
Push everything this way. Words,
It's coming, you got my shop, but point from it. I'm gonna put a ring in the place and make sure I'm serious. You know, that plan, put the glass of my plan here. So I am the one that makes them in the internet. Yeah, you're small like a mouse, I'm just a fake like a beer. But you wanna drink, start drink, so much drink. Yeah, I make it last year, but me better this year. It's the champion.
Oh, took all fucking morning, but thank you. Freeze everything. Freeze everything. That's good, bro. You're creative. I started talking, you started dumping. Wow.
It says mega breakdown. So
took all morning, but I found out the numbers. 1,540.
I shoot with the gift, live like a 12 gauge, leaving in a daze, cause Snow is in a rage, praising like a preacher, knowledge of a teacher, wicked as a tyrant, heritage Irish, no, not Jamaican, moves I ain't faking, it would be mistaken for me to be taken. I'll buy another, so run for cover, and when I strike, take flight like Nikes, cause I come solo, aka Snow, and when I let you know you got a hard way, hard, long, and stiff, but that's only if you decide to rip and get flipped. Flip like a hooper, faithful in time, I know to design. I sing chat rhymes, the week that I trample, so here's an example, sample. I am ample, yes I am ample, swift with the tongue, the new style the wrong, they got real busy like a bee and then I stung. Well, changing up the style and into the file, swinging through the files, cause I'm a
creative child.
Find a double shreddies.
Enter to win double prizes.
Oh, yeah. Now apparently they're over the real contest now. Takes these companies 50 years to listen to their customers. You know how much shit they throw? Oh, God, it doesn't look perfect. We got to throw those ones out. Why would they? The Canadian government dumps trainloads of grain into the fucking lake. A grow house. Oh, a row house.
On Monday, the bodies of 2 adults were removed from the home yesterday.
Constable George Tudos with Durham Regional Police says the investigation will take some time.
Members from our major crime unit are going to be leading this investigation. We are holding the scene as well, too. And this is an ongoing investigation. We are working, obviously, with the family. We've notified family members of what we recovered today.
Police are not identified.
Can get to their COVID-19 vaccine appointment. 680's Michelle Mackey joins us live with the latest from the Premier. Michelle.
Song I left it on.
Seniors and people with disabilities get their vaccinations.
I got a lifetime fever.
So we are going to remove this barrier. We will literally drive you to your vaccine appointment. Because the lack of transportation should never get in the way of something so important.
My lack of skin tone shouldn't stop me from using my own equipment. I pay for this shit, right?
More information will become available in the coming days.
We're working out the details. We're working with the numerous people that are working with
real hard in the kitchen, whipping up that freaking to real hard. The job to real hard.
Seniors over the age of 80 have still not been vaccinated and hopes this will make the process simpler. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Mackey.
680 News Time 8:35. You don't see this every day. Caught on camera by our very own Chapo 680. Punches being thrown on the side of the 401. OPP are now investigating, and 680's Karen Seal joins us live with the details on this exclusive video. Karen.
Squad fists were flying on Canada's busiest highway during rush hour after a fight broke out on the side
North
of the 401 east of
America's biggest highway, you fucking whore.
Responded to a crash in the area that left one vehicle in need of a lift. Things escalated quickly with 2 people seen
18 lanes wide in some spots. 18! That's not even a evenly divisible number.
People that were involved in that altercation fled before police arrived, and so if there's anybody with information that can identify those people or has information to assist us in the investigation, we'd certainly like to hear from them.
Our airborne traffic reporter Jordan Kerr witnessed the entire fight.
A couple of people in the collector stopped by to put them in their place, and then one of them ran into their car and drove away. So drama here on the 401 East.
Play the earlier part of the clip, you assholes.
That vehicle, by the
way, look at that!
Another tow truck at the scene. Our chopper caught it all on camera. You can watch the video on 680news.com.
I want to hear this guy's fucking voiceover.
680 News Time 8:36. The date of the next federal budget
biggest
has
story
been
they got.
unveiled. The Trudeau government will introduce its fiscal plan to recover from the pandemic on April 19th.
This will be the first budget from the federal government in more than 2 years after last year's was canceled due to the pandemic. And the House of Commons Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says the feds will continue to support Canadians and businesses.
We have a plan for jobs and robust growth.
This will be Freeland's first budget since becoming finance minister last summer. The government's already said it will include measures to green the economy, a national child care plan, and up to 100 in the fall. It all comes as conservative leader Trudeau told
I just want to hear your legal argument. Get rid of the fucking news is actually fucking cops fucking with them. It's so creative. You know these niggas with their music.
I'ma leave you up with nada. We been getting so much walk on the block non-stop. I don't know when this shit is gonna end. Right way up to the top. I'm just getting so much walk that I feel it getting to me. Yeah, it's getting to me. We been getting so much
for 10 minutes, bro. I didn't even finish the first half of the joint. You already fucking all up. What is your fucking issue? You're gonna protect the rights of the pedophile, right?
Yeah, it's getting to me. Yeah, it's getting to me. Yeah, it's getting to me. Yeah, this feeling in me. I'm about the whole scene. Might just throw up some green. Got some red on some green. It's the fourth.
The mental health and development of children and kids deserve
You're creative. So creative. You're just like these pedophiles. You got a big, huge self-image, but there's nothing there, dog.
Our schools have been safe.
I'm Phil Martino. 680 News
I went backwards through it, and all the fucking tracks I just went forwards through are gone.
If a 9-game losing streak wasn't bad enough, there's more drama in Raptorland today, depending on who you believe.
Well, Jennifer Quinn is the Raptors head of media relations, and she says today's report.
Well, it's not working. I got nothing for nobody, so you just fuck yourself again. What are you going to do? Sit there for the rest of the shift and say, well, he might come back online? You're going to get paid for that? You think?
Yes,
fucking retard. You are fucking stupid.
Slim. We all
Supreme Court judge was right. Fucking stupid. 24 years. You're stupid. Put the fuck up. Go off with your pedophile buddies. Stop watching.
We are one. Won't matter who it is. Bound to get the job done. The Caribbeans got the shooters behind. OGs the white lights. The 990s. So don't sleep, nigga. We are one. No matter who it is. Bound to get the job done. On the same shit. Running with the same clip. Never gonna
the earlier clip was better. What's this? Oh!
That to get our shit up. Every other option is a stick up. Never a 9 to 5 cause I ain't got no day job. From the slums, little homie. When we play hard.
Oh, and last time they ran the story, they said they want anybody who knows who they are to call the police. Yeah, right. See how many trucks these guys blow up in the last 2 years? Holy fuck, they're shooting each other up. You think they're always driving a tow truck? It's those beige troops and purple or whatever sedan or something. Green coupe or beige sedan. Right, there you go.
I ain't finished my fair share yet, but I aired them just started. And I ain't talking about no jump shot, brush them off, go top. You know the cold heroin tracks, didn't think I was capable. 4-5 pipe on my hand, trace of didn't think I was capable. 4-5 pipe on my hand, isn't traceable. You niggas don't ride something like a flat tire. They fire, you're fire. Cause my gap's the same size as a blow dry. Never true in your raps, just some damn lies. A great job, make us stick to the wire. And you don't supply shit to the fire. I'm the king of gang rap, call me sire. That's hate, but privately you rate and admire. Tell the truth, your rubber grip tight, no pliers. I gotta take you out, call it quits or retire. The fourth room down, fifth lift from up. Bells don't leave shouts, so I'm switching up. Something like a bus driver still picking up. Got your hands in your pocket, nigga, stick them up. I'm a projects, money's no objects. So we bring the fuck max and we podcast. Slide in, slide out, drop where we ride out. Down go, I got rounds that you don't count. Stop standing up till I tell you sit down. Stomach on the ground, down, hands behind your back, on your neck. When I'm digging in your pants, see me that in your trip. All for the rest. He said, tap the weed, leave the cash. What? I'ma do him dirty, mad max. Do it, niggas get back. Bitches get snapped, they get smacked. Face down when I'm breaking her back. Yo, we got metal like a rap, made it
empty. I mean, you can watch the video. No, the best part was his voiceover, his commentary.
Parked in my rack, still unstolen. Stereo scratch up on my actions. Stop the madness, I'm reeling up, get it gone. Magic, they can't go sleep like I don't got a night joke. Send your aim class, didn't see wrong. Now I'm running bottom close. I ain't going gone, but I'm clear blood strong till it jumps on my palm. Till it highly dangerous and no to me arms are pages. Sicker than stars, I ain't famous, but I'm a star. I'll snap, crack, pop like Keller. I'll snap, run, duck, just hide when I let her. Run, 9 in the mask, 9 in the act, 9 with the strap to your man's vision black. With the strong dog and snap, on the G's for YG, scroll slap, we clap, 3 coming try me, 70s and 90s, been moving grimy, third rush, till they hooked up to the ivy. With this 4-5 will stretch you, and they think
Never played the 45, the sound of the makes me keep alive.
Yo, Critians, so we ain't in the no long talking. Money overflow, back on my bullshit. These pumps that I grew with, acting like they're too sick, too soon. Cash making me ever switch sides. Or babble to the Jakes, almost get my punch fried, huh? My mind's fried. See, I don't give a fuck. Skank it with a YG, guarantee he hit them up. Take a nigga slut, man, you know me.
It may or may not rain sometime tomorrow.
Plus I get busy with these OGs screaming Southside, outside of the police. Fucked up when I nipped 1.5 a beat. Snakes and they pop chops, now you only 10 G's. Till I go to sleep, till you for the ABK, the marksman, shoot for fun. What the fuck's a murder one? Bad news.
Woke up at 7 o'clock, man. That's wrong. I thought it was 6:30 because the fucking power outage.
In the dark about herbicide spraying.
In the dark, that's
and
right.
Hundreds of gallons of blueberries.
It's off by exactly half an hour. It turned off at 10:30, turned on at 11 o'clock. Just exactly. What kind of message is that?
Revolutionaries. Yo, we being targeted, word up, man. We being hunted. All black men beware.
It's working better than I was expecting. I just wanted to hear that one friggin' track, and the whole fucking player seems to have fucked up.
I'm over here fucking with TJ traveling from Florida. I'm on a block right now. Drinking. It's still on the phone.
Hey, fuck y'all. Hey, my arm hurts.
How you doing?
All right.
Bro. Come on, chill.
I gotta go back to my house.
Man, you been looking for me. What I do? Son, it's a wrap.
The other great appears to have died.
I don't got inside just on Crip, nigga, gang, banging that Crip shit. Niggas calling up cause of them blue shades. My peoples, it was right behind, and ain't no nigga pulling up in no new rave. It was cool to the gang raid. Now these tough guys just never act right. Blood can fill a whole bathtub, let these blood brothers get baptized. Blacklisted on a bad guy, plus some dark skin, so I'm a black guy. Memphis see me like black ice, and we still pack cannons at shack side. Niggas said it at a man. But the lights came brother like, really what you talking about? Niggas say you in the can. Try to kill him on a shot, let the people still chop him up. I ain't trust anybody that'll walk around. Pop kind, only reason that they popping up. Niggas skins on my shoulders like crocodiles. They know they fucking with me like a crocodile. Gang. Yelling that shit that you never been a part of. I know niggas I got waiting for the startup. D-Rose and they ain't even put his guard up. Not one person goes hard for the city, got a mainstream level. Talk about the top of that's product. Tell me if they ever seen a bite that is hot up. Not me out and mad that I got him. TCP ring like a nigga just a product. Think you styling on you, could you see him in his product? Big gun bust from a nigga look a manga. Party next door, I need a shot in a bottle. Tell Jay Prince, I don't give a fuck, yo. Fighting for a rap with a cut though. Squinting in a round and a touch flow. But they agree to keep it on the hush though.
I'm blued up, I'm crewed up. For the F43G, I'm chewed up.
Any nigga that really want it, I'ma bomb it. 32 shots and skeletons out the closet. You don't wanna be back down with your belly up. 4 double law niggas hopping on the heavy truck. We give bullets, but niggas don't give any fucks. Mac ain't auto, but I'll show you how to semi-buck. Type of strap, you may need to get rid of me. Really take headshots, so who's guillotine? You ain't know I really bang in these streets. Got heat from the west, but I'll bang in the east. Nigga, crip, 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 crip. I rep a gang that you never been a part of. I put that on my mother and I put that on my daughter. If you diss one of my brothers, then your blacks could have shot up. I'm like Welvin, yelling out God, so you ain't gotta ask Biggie Smalls who shot him. I got a Biggie pump that'll work when I pop up. Had to move work in the slums just to guap up. Now I hit the club till the bartender top up. The stocks well, so for lock, you'll get shot up. Now I hit the club till the bartender top up. The stocks well, so for lock, you'll get shot up.
I might die for this shit, nigga. All them homicides was on.
Emotionally, financially, and socially. Get connected at 6degreechallenge.com.
680 News Time, 8:48.
The city of Toronto says both firefighters and medical staff are now working to help shorten wait times at mass vaccination clinics.
Everywhere I go, all I see is white vans, black trucks. Every time I try to talk about it, people don't give a fuck. Everywhere I go, all I see is white vans, black trucks. Every time I try to talk about it, people just tell me to shut up.
Funny, I recorded that, then all of a sudden all these trucks start coming on different maroon and red and green. People are just...
Yeah, we rep for the street niggas, man. The voice of the streets, the black top. Yeah, the niggas that be on the soil, on the turf out here, boy. You know what I mean? Hey, we got that military shit, nigga. Bullets by the ton. Well, I like you don't know. Let's run it.
I doubt you once I left. Flying in your outfit. Ain't no bringing back the bullet once I left the hammer. Hit you never had damage. And I know what you dealing with. Try to fuck hear me, but nigga, I ain't feeling it. Can't have no niggas talking more than what you show. Cause you say just cause the niggas he know. Easy gang, listen up. Check this out. Damn, what you talking about? I ain't giving a fuck about repercussions on Boston. I hit a discussion like bitches, nudges. I'll stop you in the middle of your sentence like a dog. You look like a bomb. Just with the blood to get you with your brains and intestines. That goes for you and anyone that takes chances. And such as is washed up like shells on the shelf. Walking up my gun under shells and hit the slug. I'm a belly motherfucker. I should have owned the gun. Shit, no blood. I got me one. This nigga, that's all. Yeah, son. Let's stand for the back. Frogs, hard. Nigga, loud damn niggas. But now I'm son. I'm a real life. Sweet till it gets done. It's still a nigga. I ain't got to run. I got things in the box. Look me in my eyes, you can tell that I'm a rider. When it comes down to it, nigga, I'ma get all out the side you with these vibes. With the gun in the streets, niggas fight for keys, wrong crime, I don't give a fuck. And I bring around with that.
Work again? Nice.
But I'm the last of the dying breed. Twin hammers look like the Siamese. I got that beam from the Japanese. My French girl wave, you can remind me of mac and cheese. It is what it has to be. I'm killing all who's after me. They have to see what's rich and I swear what's it financially. Like who be frontin' for it? They flying like there's a trampoline. These bitches couldn't marry a guy. It was a Magdalene. My strap like a little bro with Tagalog. It's these instrumentals we always bragging on. It's Roseway, Bear Brook, Class Ridges, we drag them on. The nigga with the gate and Sega was double dragging on. The mega Sean landed in Lebanon. We was slapping that back and forth with the tether ball. Used to live on Fletcher Street, right in the Esplanade. Bitches wanna ship and make us film it like espionage. You know that's why they set toilet. Why you niggas ain't protect your neck for it? Trapping them shits to be wet. Like connect for the cylinder, always a spin. I connect for it right into your dome when I get it out the chest to joy rapper. When you go on tour, it's all music. Maybe when we go on tour, it's all shootings. Like other straps got kicked, I gotta shoot it. Nigga, if you talk that talk, you gotta do it. Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last of a down bread. Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last of a down.
Welcome to Mi'kmaq Matter.
Oh, I didn't even get the S out. Wow.
The Shot and Film and DJs pod.
This don't get close. Yeah, no.
I cried hard so my ankle is swollen. I got the blink cloud, whipping up the ocean. Magic trick, watch me turn crack into golden. Make it vanish and bounce back like a golden. Who they like to say that I fell off? I'm the hardest out, they just mad cause I show up.
You motherfuckers ain't seen Cinderella. You're supposed to help me out, wake me up. I would have brought some muffins back, stupid. There's nothing out here for you because of that. They're looking for food that ain't there. Well, I guess they got the wrappers I gave them this morning.
R.I.P. God.
It doesn't get any like simpler. The story. Make all sorts of money and kill off all your enemies. Okay. Not down with that.
Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Fucking Friday night, where the fuck is everybody? I just wanna party, like I won the lottery. Where you at? Hit me up, where the money? Where the stacks? Get this paper, get this cash. No, we here, with my niggas in the trash. Put it in, flip it quick, get it back. Add me up, with my niggas in the room. Cleaning up, sweeping up with a broom. Run it down, run it down, run it down.
I need to know if it's actually gonna rain tomorrow or not.
Welcome to Environment Canada's Weather Service. Pour la ville de Toronto, pour la prévision publique pour les 7 prochains jours, faites le 1. Prévision émise par Environnement Canada à 15h30 le mardi 23 mars pour ce soir, cette nuit, mercredi et la nuit suivante. Ville de Toronto pour ce soir et cette nuit partiellement nuageux. Minimum 8 pour mercredi, nuageux. 60% de probabilité d'averse tard le matin et en après-midi. Risque d'un orage tard en après-midi. Vent devenant d'est à 20 km/h tôt en après-midi. Maximum 16. L'indice ultraviolet de 3 ou modéré. Mercredi soir, plutôt nuageux avec 60% de probabilité d'averse.
I don't need the UV numbers, I need the particulate matter numbers. Like they give us in China and Mexico, give us those numbers. So, just to break it down, they're saying, oh, there's chances of rain moving on into the afternoon or whatever. Well, what the government just said is 60% chance of rain throughout the morning and afternoon. So the way they equate math is not realistic. You teleported to the fucking bars. You just teleported to those fucking bars. You didn't go through the door. All the doors are open. You still went through the bars. They don't get it. I got to be the cave. These are lab nights is what that is. That has to be. It's so inconsistent. Now I'm like slightly too high. I could have 180 too high.
Equalize, all world is patronized. I advise to the slides, to the skies, less than us. My life, they did not be criticized, victimized. Monkey vibes, issues, pollution vibes, people lie. They will hide the evil side, love the right over their eyes. Randomized, people die, nothing less being resides. Improvise, low highs, this is life. My bright eyes, this is shine. Pink veiled and darker times to analyze, I rhapsodize. Angry and antagonized. When I rap, I tranquilize. Lyrically, I optimize. Every line is criticized. Mentally, I rationalize. We as people are categorized, politicized, and immunized. This life isn't stabilized. Come on, please open your eyes.
A shocking dam, which provides safe drinking water to the residents of Kabul City. India is also launching phase 4 of its high-impact community development projects in Afghanistan, which includes more than 100 projects worth $80 million. As of today, our Trippz is spread across all 34 provinces of Afghanistan. To provide greater regional connectivity, India has operationalized air freight corridors and the Chabahar port. India extended humanitarian assistance of 75,000 metric tons of wheat to Afghanistan through Chabahar port to overcome food insecurity in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. Further, as a part of our endeavor to help Afghanistan tide over the COVID-19 pandemic, We have contributed to the supply of nearly 1 million India as a grant. Madam President, several Indian nationals, especially our diplomats, including my dear colleague G. Venkateshwar Rao, and also Brigadier Ravi Dutt Mehta, engineers and doctors, the highest stakes in ensuring the peace and stability in Afghanistan. We are ready to work with all stakeholders, including the regional countries. India continues to stand with Afghanistan for restoration of normalcy through a legitimate democratic process that is essential to the long-standing stability of Afghanistan.
I think that's the one track I've had the
India will
most
continue to
problems trying
provide
to play.
all support to the government and the people of Afghanistan in realizing their aspirations for a peaceful, democratic, and prosperous future.
Party members for 50 years or more and have performed well in their roles. Visits will be paid to the
That's the worrying reality of today, and that is why at the moment we cannot drop any of the measures. This means that we will extend the current measures by 3 weeks until Tuesday, April the 20th.
In business are called to standardize rules for the global digital economy. In sports, China's football national team is preparing for World Cup qualifiers. In culture and entertainment, the treasures of the Sanxingdui ruins in Sichuan province. Now the day's top stories. A series of events will be held to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party of China. A grand gathering will be held, during which President Xi Jinping will deliver a speech. The Chinese president will also present the July 1st medal and certificates to party members who've made remarkable contributions. A commemorative medal will be awarded to those who have been party members for 50 years or more and have performed well in their roles. Visits will be paid to the homes of party members who receive various forms of honors and commendations, those who live in difficulties, veterans, and the families of revolutionary martyrs and party members who died on duty. Major exhibitions will be held to showcase the CPC's journey over the past century. China's condemned the sanctions imposed by the United States, Canada, Britain, and the European Union on Chinese individuals and entities over Xinjiang-related issues. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunying says the sanctions were based on lies and false information under the pretext of human rights issues. She says people of all ethnic groups in Xinjiang enjoy constitutional and lawful rights, as well as stability, security, development, and progress. China on Monday announced sanctions against 10 individuals and 4 entities in the EU.
Of several bodies.
The United Nations Human Rights Council has adopted a China-sponsored resolution calling for dialogue and cooperation in the field of human rights. The resolution also calls on all states to uphold multilateralism and encourage other stakeholders, including international, regional, and non-governmental organizations, to contribute to this endeavor. It stresses that international cooperation should be carried out to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic and ensure the accessibility and affordability of vaccines in developing countries. It also proposes that the Human Rights Council hold a meeting on the promotion and protection of the human rights of persons in
what?
Agreement.
You have the right to this needle I want you to take.
That
Fuck
will
off.
facilitate better coordination and collaboration between the two in order for tourism to open in the medium term.
What's up next then for the for Beijing and Moscow in terms of jointly upholding multilateralism and the talks? With more on this, we spoke to Dr. George Zagopoulos, director of the EU-China program at the International Center for European Studies in Greece. What's the global significance of a China-Russia partnership in the fight against COVID-19?
Well, this is a partnership that is evolving steadily, but also fast. China and Russia are enjoying a very cordial relationship, and this cordial relationship is being expanded also in the sphere of the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. So I would identify 2 main sectors where this cooperation can be tangible. The first is
in providing vaccines to countries of the developing world. And the second is forging a potential agreement on a health certificate that will facilitate better coordination and collaboration between the two in order for tourism to open in the medium term.
What's up next then for Beijing and Moscow in terms of jointly upholding multilateralism and contributing to global governance?
Both countries, China and Russia, believe in the importance of multilateralism, and they consider the role of the United Nations as central in their effort to address global challenges. And it is within this framework that the two foreign ministers, Wang Yi and Sergei Lavrov, agreed that a potential meeting of UN Security Council permanent members is required in the future in order for the 5 members to address global challenges and find a way forward, because the current instability is obviously very dangerous for world peace, and that's why Beijing and Moscow are on the same front in addressing this critical issue.
And how much economic potential is there in synergy of the China proposed Belt and Road Initiative and the Russian strategy of a Eurasian Economic Union?
Well, generally speaking, every time that China is proposing cooperation on the basis of the Belt and Road Initiative, what is suggested is to look up to what extent these important projects can overlap or intersect with similar projects that are being proposed by other countries. So in that regard, the Eurasian Economic Union can certainly intersect and overlap with the Belt and Road Initiative, because the interests of both China and Russia appear similar in that regard as far as interconnectivity is concerned. And once again, the Belt and Road Initiative is a project that is inclusive, but it is also a project which can be successful if it joins forces with similar projects of other countries. Against this backdrop, I would say that the two projects can certainly be a force of further integration and interconnectivity in the Eurasia region.
That was Dr. George Zygopoulos, Director of the EU-China program at the International Center for European Studies in Greece, talking about China-Russia cooperation. The Serbian president says an expressway built by a Chinese company in western Serbia will bring benefits to local communities. Alexander Vučić made the remarks while touring the construction site near the town of Klinika. The road is 18 kilometers long and is worth nearly $180 million. Construction started in June last year and is expected to be finished in December of next year.
What did I miss?
The Colombian ambassador to China says Colombia is looking forward to further participating in the Chinese market and enhancing trade cooperation with China. Luis Diego Monsalve says China's new development paradigm of dual circulation is an opportunity for his country to tap into the Chinese market.
What China is trying to achieve is, of course, to strengthen the national market and the national consumption, but also with the integration with the international market. So I think in that way, we hope that with this process of dual circulation, a country like Colombia will still be able to participate in Chinese market.
And China's become Colombia's second largest trading partner. The Hainan Free Trade Port is expected to bring more possibilities for bilateral cooperation between China and Colombia. The first China International Consumer Goods Fair will be held in Hainan in May of this year. Around 200 companies from Colombia and other countries have confirmed their participation in the jewelry exhibition. Coming up, we look at World Tuberculosis Day.
By the such we should
breaks that long.
We're at 9 minutes past the hour. Today is the 26th World Tuberculosis Day. The incidence of TB in China has reportedly been decreasing at a rate of around 2% every year. In 2019, more than 800,000 new TB cases were reported in the country. Experts are suggesting that applying COVID-19 prevention and control protocols can help in reducing tuberculosis. With more on this, Guanghao spoke earlier with Wu Zhiwei, Director of the Center for Public Health Research at Nanjing University.
Which COVID-19 prevention and control measures could be effective in preventing tuberculosis?
There are a number of cues which we can take we can take from the COVID-19 prevention. One is that because the TB also is transmitted through the aerosol and upper respiratory tract. So the prevention measures basically used for blocking or preventing the upper respiratory tract transmission can be applied, such as we should avoid speaking and also coughing, things like that in the public areas, as those can be actually implemented. And in past, evidence that by implementing those measures, we could reduce the TB transmission. And the other thing is that in the such as on the dinner table, actually we could use a common so-called chopstick and utensils to prevent the individual contact. So those are the actually measures which we could use to reduce the TB transmission. And basically, this is very much based on the common sense that avoid the direct contact between the infected individual and the non-infected individuals.
And in your opinion, what other measures can be taken to eradicate the disease?
Well, actually, for eradicating TB, this is the historical issue from the drug development to vaccine development. Apparently, the TB is a very persistent, resilient disease. One of the issues I think for eradicating the disease, what we need to do is basically the drug development, and ideally the vaccine. I think the vaccine probably is the ultimate approach to eradicate the TB, cut down the transmission. But the vaccine has met unprecedented difficulties against this disease. TB replicating and growth in the human body is quite different from what we know about the virus and what we know about the bacteria. TB is quite distinct in the way that it residing in the human cells. So often that the current immune system and the current approach in eradicating or removing or killing the bacteria actually is not very effective in killing the TB bacteria. In my opinion, to develop effective drugs, particularly against the multi-drug resistant isolate, are very critical. The other thing is that we should still pursue to develop vaccines which can be used to cut down the TB transmission. And in the long run, we'll be able to eradicate the TB.
And that was Move Your Way on measures to end tuberculosis. China plans to continue fostering growth in the wind power sector after building capacity in this area over the past year. Guoyan has more.
A report by the Global Wind Energy Council says in 2020, China broke the world record for the most wind power capacity installed in a single year with 52 gigawatts, doubling the country's annual installations compared to the previous year. Senior energy expert Lin Baoqiang from Xiamen University says China's reaching wind energy resources, which puts it at the forefront of the country's ambitious target to cut carbon emissions.
There's no doubt that the potential for growth is huge. As coal, which accounts for most energy consumption, is gradually phased out, wind energy has a large space to grow. Wind power will be relatively cheaper than some other clean energies like photovoltaic. China has more wind resources than any other country in the world. The volume of wind resources in Xinjiang alone surpasses many countries. The industrial chain in this regard is complete and mature in China.
China's been fast-tracking the growth of clean energies to gradually replace coal, which accounts for about 60% of the country's energy mix. Wind power development has been accelerated as China sets the target of achieving carbon neutrality by 2060. Experts say wind power has a lot of advantages over other clean energy options. It doesn't require as much land as solar energy and doesn't have an impact on the ecological environment compared with hydropower. However, the storage of wind energy poses a big challenge as the power supply requires stability and more technological breakthroughs to help lower storage costs. Concord New Energy Group has just deployed a new 20-megawatt energy storage project for its wind farm in Anhui province. Ji is chief engineer with the group. He says the storage allows the firm to solve traditional wind farm challenges brought on by weather and other factors by creating a circular supply and demand loop.
When the wind is strong, the capacity of wind power may not be entirely used up without a sufficient number of users. To solve the problem, we adopted an energy storage system to preserve excess electricity during chores and then send power out during the peak period. At present, the investment cost increased, but the wind power is effectively utilized from the perspective of social benefits.
Last year, half of the world's newly installed wind power capacity was built in China. The country has pledged to maintain the growth momentum. In the next decade, it aims to boost its wind and solar capacity to 1,200 gigawatts, which is more than double the current level. For the Beijing Hour, this is Gui Yan.
More than 130 million people have directly benefited from the world's largest water diversion project. The mega projects transferred over 40 billion cubic meters of water from China's south to the arid northern areas. Sui has more.
The South North Water Diversion Project has improved the water supply for over 40 cities along the routes. Li Kelun is Deputy Director of the Hutuo River Construction and Management Department with the Shijiazhuang City Government.
Since the ecological water compensation began in 2018, the groundwater level has been raised about 1 meter.
The canal in Shijiazhuang is an important source of drinking water for Beijing and Tianjin. It's also an important supplement to the water resources in northern China, helping to protect the environment there. Deputy Director Cao Mingze with the Shijiazhuang section says the project has the most protected water in China.
In our section, we have 2 water quality monitoring stations that automatically test the quality 8 times a day.
Director Li Yi of the Operation Management Department with the Ministry of Water Resources says the project has improved water quality along the routes and helped with the ecological restoration of rivers and lakes.
In general, water quality of the project reached the level 3 standard for service waters. Water quality along the roads significantly improved. In particular, water quality of Danjiangkou Reservoir and the entire middle road reached level 2. That's why people say their tap water tastes good. Apart from providing water, the project has supplied over 500 million cubic meters to the lakes or wetlands along the roads, effectively countering water degradation and underground water depression.
The South North Water Diversion Project has 3 routes to quench the thirst of dry areas in the north. The middle route is tasked with feeding water to Beijing. It starts from the Danjiangkou Reservoir in central China and rests across Henan and Hebei before reaching the capital. It began supplying water in 2014. The eastern route began operation in 2013, transferring water from Jiangsu to feed areas including Tianjin and Shandong. The western route is still in the planning stage. For the Beijing Hour, I'm Su Yi.
Cultural institutions in China are looking for new ways to bring the country's culture to more people all over the world. Wen Jie has more.
Many museums in China are now open to the public after temporary closures, thanks to the country's efforts to bring COVID-19 under control. The cooperation between China and other countries in the museum sector continues despite the pandemic. In December, the first ever global research and exchange center in this field was established in Shanghai. An Laishun from the International Council of Museums says China will continue its cooperation with other countries in this sector to seek more opportunities.
We will pay attention to the changes. For example, we will have a new visitor and new service models. We will also try to find out to what extent COVID-19 is influencing this sector and how museums can help to boost the development of society and promote harmony between different groups of people.
Chinese cultural institutions have been working with their counterparts around the world on archaeology projects and cultural relics protection and restoration. In recent years, Chinese TV programs about cultural relics have been warmly welcomed. The shows have also attracted many overseas audiences and aroused their interest in Chinese culture. Many museums in China are making and selling cultural and creative products, both of which have enjoyed increasing popularity.
Anything
the
you
popular
make is
cultural
Chinese
souvenirs
culture, isn't
include cosmetics, paper fans, and mobile phone covers. Ma Xiaolin from Henan Museum says it's a good way to attract young people.
目的也是想文化类核心的加到产品里边。We want to integrate the core of our culture into these products. We want younger generations to be interested and to get involved, as well as learn something about archaeology and our traditional culture at the same time.
By the end of 2019, China had more than 5,500 museums across the country. On average, one museum was established every 2 days over the past 5 years. For the Beijing Hour, this is Wenjie.
It's 20 past the hour now. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has warned that the UK must be very wary of the potential for a third wave of coronavirus infections. He was speaking on the first anniversary of the UK's first coronavirus lockdown.
We must be very wary of the potential for a third wave. Sadly, on the European continent, we are seeing distinct signs of a third wave, and they're taking steps to abate that, to deal with that. And we in the UK have very tough measures at our borders already, including mandatory tests for anybody who comes here.
Johnson also says he hopes to give more information on foreign holidays by April 5th. This follows news that a £5,000 or $7,000 fine is coming into force this week for those traveling abroad for leisure. He also commented on growing tensions between Europe and the UK surrounding the COVID-19 vaccine rollout, saying the UK does not support vaccine nationalism. The British government says that all of its care home residents have been offered a coronavirus vaccine. Prime Minister Boris Johnson described it as a crucial milestone for the UK in the battle against the virus. From London, Chris Jones reports.
We've been working really hard for around 2 months now.
Ruth French is the operational manager for Stowe Healthcare, which operates multiple care homes across the UK. After weeks of rolling up sleeves, she says all of her eligible residents have now received at least 1 dose of a vaccine. There remains, though, a small pocket of residents waiting for the jab.
There were a small number, for example, anyone who tested positive in the previous 28 days who couldn't at the time, but we're reassured that they will be vaccinated within the next couple of weeks, and that's a very small number of residents left.
Across the UK, 90% of people over 80 years old and half of people in their 70s have now been inoculated against the virus. By mid-February, the government wants all of its most vulnerable citizens, including those aged 70 and over, healthcare workers and care home residents, to be immunised. There are currently 2 weapons at its disposal, the Oxford University AstraZeneca jab and another from Pfizer-BioNTech. And reinforcements are on the way. The Moderna shot, which has already been approved, will be in use come March, while a vaccine from the French biotech Valneva is currently being reviewed. And it's because of these resources that Health Secretary Matt Hancock believes this month's target is achievable.
We're confident we have the supplies to meet our target to offer the vaccine to the 4 most vulnerable groups by the
due to a surge in the number of infections. Ruta says that coronavirus infections are